Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is brisket and red curry. So a few years back, I was visiting Portland, Oregon, again, where I once lived for 6 years. And the first thing that we did was we left the airport and we went to this restaurant called EEM, E-E-M. If you haven't been there yet, or if you have the opportunity, you totally should go there. And they basically do a combination of Thai food and barbecue. And I had a brisket and white curry dish there, and I have dreamed of it since then. So today I'm gonna do my own version of it. It's probably not gonna be as good as theirs, but I've already started smoking the brisket, and we're gonna make some red curry to go along with it. This right here is about half of a whole brisket, so you're getting mostly the flat right here. You've got some of that point on it as well. The flat is the less fatty side, whereas the point is the fattier side. Either side's gonna work. The one that I smoked was the other half of this brisket, so we're gonna be eating fatty brisket today. But you've got this nice fat cap on the top. So step one, we're gonna hit it with some mustard. We've got the Bichon right here. This is our binder layer, and it's gonna add some great mustardy flavor. The idea here is basically to create like a Texas style brisket and combine it with a Thai style curry. To accomplish that Texas flavor, we're using the Lone Star rub from Cattleman's Grill. Really simple rub, salt, pepper, roasted garlic, and just a little bit of celery seed in there. So we're gonna hit this pretty heavy and then get it onto the Yoder. So this is that brisket point that's been cooking all night long at about 190. You can see it's got a beautiful bark on it. It's ready to be wrapped at this point. But for the purpose of this video, we're gonna go ahead and throw this one on. Fat side up, fat side down, doesn't make a huge difference, but fat on the bottom does give you a thermal barrier from that heat that's coming up here. This is one of the things that makes me love the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill, is that I can set it at a nice and low temperature, like 190. This brisket went on at my house at like 9 p.m., 9:30 last night, and I just let it ride. It develops a great bark overnight. I don't have to worry about it, but when I wake up at 2 in the morning, I can pop open my phone, look at the app, and know exactly where that internal temperature is because we've got those probes set inside of there. Then in the morning, I'll pop it up to 250. We'll go ahead and make sure that we like where the bark's at. And that's where we're at with this first brisket that we cooked. Now it's time to wrap it up and finish it off. Now this brisket's at about 165 degrees. I should say brisket point because it's only half the brisket. But at this point, we're just going to wrap it up. 2 sheets of foil, so any like sharp edges like right here aren't gonna poke through and create a hole. And essentially what's gonna happen at this point is it's just gonna go back onto the grill, and it's basically gonna braise in its own juices until it's crazy tender. And we'll pull it at, I don't know, 205, 210, depends on how it feels with the probe. Oh, hey little buddy, make a little room for me. A little bit of knife work now for the curry. Speaking of knives, working with the King Shankita 8-inch chef knife. These things are incredibly sharp. They hold up really well. Only run you about $100, especially right now. I think they're on sale for about $100. But I feel like they operate like a Shun or like a Wusthof, just at a lower price point. So we're just gonna do thin slices on these today. From end to end. I prefer to go this direction rather than across and curl them up. I don't know why. But like I say, do whatever's in your heart. So now some red bell. Just take that top off. A little slice down the sides. I love the way this knife moves. And just gonna kind of copy what we did with the onions. Thin slices. Now we're gonna add a little heat with some Thai chilies here. I'll slice those thin as well. We're doing 4, but you can do 1 or 0 or 12, whatever you feel like. Let's start this with some coconut oil. We'll let that melt down, then we're gonna start adding our veggies. In go the onions. This is over a medium heat right now. It's sitting at a 5 out of 10. There's our red bells. Also gonna throw in shiitake mushrooms. Just bought those sliced so I didn't have to do the knife work on them, which is fine. Then we can also add those Thai chilies. Now right off the bat, we're gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm using the Jacobsen habanero sea salt just because we're going with a little bit spicier flavor profile today, but even just the regular kosher salt from Jacobsen is fantastic. You can find both of them at a2bbq.com. See how everything's kind of softened up now, so we're ready to move on to the next stage, and that's adding a lot of our flavoring agents. So we're gonna add some red curry paste in here, a couple cloves, mixed garlic, about a tablespoon of fresh ginger that we grated on the microplane, and then a bit of fish sauce. So the fish sauce is gonna help to deglaze the bottom. You can see that brown stuff that's stuck there. It's fragrant stuff. It might scare you at first, but I promise it's a huge part of the umami in this dish. So still over medium heat here. We're gonna give this about 2 minutes before we come in with some coconut milk. Now we're gonna take 1 full can of full fat coconut milk and add that to the mix. Just gonna make this nice and creamy, and some cilantro stems. It doesn't have to be the leaves. The stems have plenty of flavor in them. We'll use the leaves for garnish. And just like that, we have red curry. We'll bring it to a simmer and just let it kind of hang out warm. We've got it at a simmer. Let's see how the flavors are rounding out. I'm gonna burn my tongue off. Salty, umami. Our garlic and ginger are coming through. I don't think I'd change anything about it. I love the creaminess from the coconut milk. All right, I'm gonna let this simmer out, and we're gonna go check on the brisket here in a minute. Brisket's been wrapped for a couple of hours now. It's coming up to about 208 internal temperature. I'll let you guys see what this looks like. Obviously steaming hot. You can see all the juice and the fat in the bottom. It's just kind of been basting itself in all of that. So we're gonna pull this off, keep the foil kind of loose and let it rest before we slice it up. Brisket's rested now. Let's go ahead and slice it up. We're gonna look at the way that the grain is running and slice against it. So you can see the grains of these mussels going this way, which means we're gonna be slicing this way. Still crazy juicy, still got some steam coming off of it. If we tug on it just a little bit, it's gonna come apart. So that's how we know that it's tender. Let me get a taste. Got that fat cap on it. So the thing about fat is, coats your mouth. And a lot of people say fat is flavor, but honestly what it is it's a carrier for flavor. Not that it doesn't taste good, but like when that fat coats your mouth and your tongue, all the flavors that you've put into this, which are very simple in this situation, they kind of light up and they're carried and they last longer. Let's build a plate. We're gonna go down with some rice first. Short grain's what we had on hand, so that's what we're using. Then we'll come in with our curry right here. Gonna use grandma's favorite spoon right here for this. This should all get mixed up, by the way. I don't know if you're weird about that, but that's how I would do it. And then we're gonna top it off with our slices of brisket. Boom, brisket and curry. Beautiful. Let's get all of the bites together now. A little bit of that brisket, some of that curry, some of that rice. Pure decadence, if you ask me. Such an array of flavors and textures and spices. That curry is coming in strong. You got the shiitakes in there. Obviously, you've got your smoky brisket. A little starch to support. Onions and peppers. Man, this is like right up my alley. And I know it's the new year and everyone's got new goals and resolutions to meet. I would say make your resolution, smoke brisket, and make curry. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.